Hello, Unified community. Welcome to the Unified Exchange podcast, where we at Special Olympics Minnesota share ideas and stories that foster inclusion in and outside the classroom. Each episode, you can expect us to cover a variety of topics to help grow the unified programming happening at your school. Our hope is that these conversations can inspire change, cultivate leaders, and transform environments that embrace each other's differences.
Welcome back to the Unified Exchange. My name is Zach Armstrong. I am a senior program manager here on the Unified Champion Schools team that oversees college and transition programming. Super excited to be here today to talk about our Student Athlete Ambassador program today. We have a special guest, Carter Will from Bethel University, who will be speaking on his experiences and really shining a light on what the Student Athlete Ambassador program is. Before we introduce Carter, let's kind of get into the background of what the Student Athlete Ambassador program is. So this program was created a few years ago by our team to really highlight students in the Unified Champion schools that go on to play collegiate sports in Minnesota. We have a lot of student athletes that wanted to stay involved with Special Olympics Minnesota once they graduated from high school. And this Student Athlete Ambassador program really gave them that chance to take on initiatives, promote Special Olympics Minnesota while being a college student and a student athlete for their programs. This came from the name, image, and likeliness in collegiate sports, and gives the opportunity to student athletes to use their platform to become ambassadors for Special Olympics Minnesota and really take the chance to become leaders on their campus and in their communities. While our current student athlete ambassadors are making an impact on their campuses and communities, we have former student athlete ambassadors that have become professional athletes, coaches, physical therapists, or work for the disability community. So there's a lot of opportunities for them to stay engaged even after they graduate college. But like I said, I really want to highlight one of our student athlete ambassadors here today, Carter Will. Carter, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so like Zach said, I am Carter Will. I am a sophomore at Bethel University. I am on the football team. I'm studying special education and business finance with hopes one day to become a teacher within the special ed realm, and then also want to be an entrepreneur and start a gym for the disabled community.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Carter. On this episode, we will get to learn more about that Student Athlete Ambassador program from the lens of Carter. With that, Carter, are you ready to get into some questions here?
Let's roll.
All right. Perfect. My first question for you is, can you tell me how you got your start with Unified?
This started my sophomore year. One of the captains on the football team came up to me after the season and was like, Carter, you should swing by the wrestling room during third hour. I want you to come meet this teacher and see what this class is about. I'm like, hey, I'll give it a chance. Met the teacher, Mr. H, and got to interact with some students, and it was an unbelievable experience. I loved it so much that I took it at least once a trimester until I graduated from high school. From that point on, fell in love with the relationships I made with those students and just the teacher, and is a massive reason why, or is the reason why I'm going into special education.
That's awesome. What high school did you go to?
I went to Egan High School in the South Metro.
Awesome. And then can you explain your role as a student athlete ambassador, what that means to you, what kind of responsibilities you have with that?
So as a student athlete ambassador, I have the opportunity to have a platform as a football player. Not only do I get the opportunity to go to college, but I have the platform to be a football player. A lot of people look up to me. And so with that, I use the student athlete ambassador role to show others what it looks like to make sure everyone's included, have extremely fun events. Bringing events like the Polar Plunge to campus for the first time was awesome last year. And getting to bring others together and learn more as we go.
Awesome. And then you mentioned that you went to Egan High School and was a part of their unified program. So how did your experiences at Egan High School kind of translate to your involvement at Bethel University?
With Egan, when I joined, we were a fairly small unified program, and what started with like one gym class turned into like my senior year. We had to turn kids away because there were so many people who wanted to be involved and take place, and so that was so cool to see the school embody the school parties, the state basketball tournaments, and things like that. And so I'm in the process of hopefully doing the same thing at Bethel with the build program that we have there, and working with those students and offering similar opportunities and campus events of just bringing and slowly growing. As the build program is well known, there are opportunities for bigger growth and involvement amongst the entire campus. Polar Plunge being one of them last year, and hoping to build off that this year.
That's awesome. And then what ways do you stay involved with the unified movement at Bethel?
At Bethel, I find ways within the build program. Polar Plunge was awesome last year, but then also finding other ways through sporting events. This upcoming weekend, I'm helping out at state bowling with another one of my buddies who I'm hoping to become a student athlete ambassador next year. And so just finding ways to reach back out to communities up at Bethel, different club sports, whether it be basketball in the spring. I'd love to do football in the fall. Got to find a way to make that work one of these falls. And so just finding ways to reach out and find connections has been huge.
Awesome. And you mentioned that you utilize your platform as a student athlete ambassador for inclusion and Special Olympics initiatives. Can you talk more about that and how you do that as a student athlete ambassador?
With that platform, I have the gift of social media, and so I get the opportunity to put things out on social media about my shared experiences, about the amazing time I get to spend with the athletes or the other coaches, and the impact I get to make on and off the court and fields. And so getting the opportunity to share those experiences with others and talk about them, make others want to join with and rally around to more events has been a huge way that I've been able to do that.
Awesome. How if you could share maybe like 2 to 3 top unified memories, in your experience, whether high school or college, what are some of your favorite memories?
That's a great question. There's so many memories that come to mind. I think the biggest thing that comes to mind is just the relationships. Now with me being at Bethel, I'm like further away from home, but I still get reached out to athletes that were in my gym classes with me, texting me, calling me, trying to go get meals together and things like that beyond the classroom. And so I think that's not a pinpoint specific memory, but just like the relationships I built with those students and the fact that they're still staying in touch with me and I get to reach out to them. I'm trying to go to their sporting events back home, or I'm moving club teams so I can go coach them in basketball this upcoming year instead of coaching the team I coached last year, and things like that. I would say in particular, the state basketball tournament, my senior year, we got to pack out the Target Center, seeing the joy it was. My junior year didn't happen at the Target Center, but we still packed Concordia St. Paul, and then getting to offer those athletes the opportunity that all high school athletes get when they make it to the state tournament to play at the Target Center was awesome to highlight them and show what they have worked so hard on all year, and to really see the rewarding and the joy in that was unbelievable.
Awesome. And then, in your opinion, why is it important for young adults, both with and without intellectual disabilities, to have opportunities after high school?
For me, I've seen this to be like this point in my life has been huge growth and trajectory of where I'm going to be the rest of my life. I have the opportunity to have amazing coaches at Bethel that talk about how these years of what you do will affect the rest of your life. And so I think understanding the opportunities that I have at my hand and how I decide to execute on what I've been given will impact my future life. And so then offering those same opportunities to people who may not have them is just as important, because it's no different for them that they would have those same opportunities present to them, that they can set themselves up for a more joyful life down the road.
Absolutely. And you just talked about, future ways to stay involved and stuff like that. So, as a student athlete ambassador, once you graduate, from college, how do you plan on staying involved with Special Olympics or the unified movement?
So what I mentioned earlier, I'm also a business finance major, and a big passion of mine is offering opportunities for those who have disabilities. And so I work back home as a PCA, a personal care assistant for an adult with a disability. Him and I used to go to the gym together, and then his gym called Lions United Fitness Center in Mendota Heights closed down, unfortunately. And I felt like that was a big opening for me of just like, this is something I'm really passionate about. The growth that I saw with him, how much more joy he brought to life, the more activities he wanted to be involved with, the more relationships he wanted to build with people, just off getting to the gym a couple times a week. And so for me down the road, I would love to be able to offer that space and opportunity, not only for the physical side of things, but the social side of things, offering them a community place where they can have friends, where they can just chill and hang out, get a chance to branch out a little bit, get out of their comfort zone, and help them offer more opportunities down the road.
Awesome. And your unified experience, whether in high school or now as a student athlete ambassador, what would be one piece of advice for any student athletes, college students that are looking to continue to stay involved with Special Olympics and the unified movement?
For me, just say yes. Say yes to every opportunity you get. That has been the biggest piece for me is you don't always know what you're getting yourself into, but just say yes to it. When I graduated high school, I didn't know what opportunities laid ahead with Special Olympics. Got reached out to by a head of director down in Farmington about basketball, and I said yes. I was like, let's go. And that has opened the door to so many other opportunities. Saying yes to go volunteer at bowling this weekend. Like it sounds so simple, but can be so overlooked as a college a student in general, but then also as a college student athlete, we have so time consumed with different things, but finding the space in your schedule just to say yes to little events and opportunities here and there can add up over time, even if it's just one event, a semester, or whatever it may be. Just saying yes opens the door to so many amazing things that happen.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that one. A couple more questions for you here, but do you have any big plans or ideas that you'd like to do as a student athlete ambassador moving forward here?
I would love to just continue to build off what we have at the Build program at Bethel. I think it's amazing how we have basketball and we've brought the polar plunge to campus, but finding ways to continuously get the student body more and more involved is something I really want to take part in. And so I really hope that I can meet together with some of the people up at Bethel and put together some fun plans and activities of things that'll last the change, not just for my years at Bethel, but for years to come down the road as well.
Awesome. We have a lot of student athletes, college student athletes, college clubs that are all spread out all the way across Minnesota here. So, what would you say to them on how to get more involved or how to stay engaged with the unified movement?
I honestly think it comes back to just saying yes. Just say, I think we are offered so many opportunities in the world today of different things to do, ways to spend your time. And so saying yes to an opportunity if a friend invites you to go do something. My buddy Deacon, I was like, dude, I'm going to go volunteer. And I was like, you want to come with? And he just said yes. And that's the stuff where it's easy to say no, but if you find a way to make it work and say yes, it will 100% be worth your time.
Awesome. We also had a couple questions from student leaders that had a couple questions for you here.
Sweet.
So one of the questions was, what has your experience been leading up to this point in your unified journey?
It's put me into some roles that have been applicable to all areas of life. And so the ability to lead with just being thrown into roles of just being like, okay, you're gonna be in charge of this, or teachers offering me the ability, okay, Carter, you got an idea with this, I'm gonna let you run with it and just go, I want you to lead us in this or that. Even within the gym class of just being like, Carter, here, you can have you can plan the class activity for the day. And I'm like, I love that stuff. As a future teacher, it provides me with just opportunities to grow as a person that will definitely translate down the road to life experiences.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Carter, for sharing your experiences as a student athlete ambassador. We heard the experiences and the impacts that Carter and other student athlete ambassadors have on their campuses and in their communities. So thank you so much again, Carter.
Thanks for having me on, Zach. I really appreciate the opportunity to work with Special Olympics through college, especially as with the platform. And so I really appreciate that and excited to continue to grow with you guys and see how Special Olympics moves in the next couple of years.
Awesome. Carter, I'm sure a few of our followers will have a question, but where can they find you on social media if they want to follow your unified journey?
You can follow my unified journey on Instagram at CarterWill12. Should be out there, and look out for more Special Olympics stuff to come.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Carter.
Yes, thanks for having me on, Zach.
We are rolling into our last segment of the day, and that is the Opportunity Share segment. Listeners, this is the prime time for you to stay in the know of what's happening at Special Olympics MN. My colleague Jonathan on the schools team is here to join me today.
Thank you, Abby. I'm excited to be here to chat all things young athletes.
During our Opportunity Share, we will always have a UCS staff here to share upcoming UCS and SOMN events for you all to stay in the know of what's happening and find opportunities to stay involved with our state office. First and foremost, for our listeners today, Jonathan, who can be a part of Young Athletes?
Young Athletes is a sport and play program for young people between the ages of 2 to 7 with and without intellectual disabilities.
Can participants join if they are older than 7?
That's a really good question. Yes, we have participants who have siblings that are older than that age who join as peer partners. We always encourage that. And, sometimes participants aren't quite ready to transition into playing competitive level sports within Special Olympics. So if the program still fits their needs, they're more than welcome to continue to join.
What happens if a family or caregiver wants their child to participate in a YA program but do not see one in their area?
That's another great question, Abby. I encourage families to stay up to date on the SOMN website under Young Athletes. There will be a section for them to fill out interested but cannot find a program in their area. And so I pay attention to that folder and I stay in contact with families and let them know when there's upcoming programs around the state.
Are there any volunteer opportunities? Who can volunteer?
Yeah, so as you're well aware, that our program, the Young Athletes program, is like many other SOMN programs. We can't operate without good, dedicated volunteers. Our website always lists our volunteers' opportunities, and it's really good for just about anyone of all ages. Our lead volunteers have to be 18 years old, but outside of that, if you want to volunteer as a support volunteer, you can be any age.
With the USA Games coming to Minnesota this summer, will Young Athletes be involved?
Foremost, congratulations to you on your Team Minnesota selection. Young Athletes will have quite a presence at the USA Games. We'll have 2 dedicated days in Blaine. Also that week, we'll be taking over the Rotunda at the Mall of America for Toddler Tuesdays.
That is all for Opportunity Share segment this episode. If you have any questions on how to become more involved, looking for more information, send us an email at schools@somn.org.
Abby, will you close us with the athlete oath?
As an athlete for 20 years with SOMN, I would love to. Are you ready, Jonathan?
Ready.
Let me win, but if I cannot win, let me be brave in the attempt. That's a wrap on the Unified Exchange.